Audio Jungle.
It's still based on the Southeast things on Flip TV. Of course, you know, when we mount the mic, we're about to dish out what we have on the front pages of the journals at the newsstand. This is based on the Southeast things on Flip TV, your number one super review program. Quickly to what we have on the front pages of this journal. The first journal I'll be reading out to the viewers is the Vanguard newspaper with a major headline which reads, over 5,100 card readers burnt in Ondo Inec fire. Over 5,100 card readers burnt down in Ondo Inec fire. Destroyed card readers meant for October poll. Destroyed card readers meant for October poll. Lagos records 48 new infections as confirmed cases of COVID-19 rise to 55,829. On to the next one. Governors misappropriating 13% derivation fund, says Buhari's aide. Says they haven't been kind to Niger Delta. Rise in prices. Threat to food security. Rise in prices. Threat to food security, says presidency. Buhari orders CBN, that the Central Bank of Nigeria, not to give forex for food fertilizer importation. Quickly to other stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. COVID-19. Federal government cautions travelers against fake PCR tests. Deregulation. Nigeria to earn over 1 trillion naira annually, says federal government. One killed, many injured as violence erupts in Ondo State. One killed, many injured as violence erupts in Ondo State. Quickly, let's travel down to Edo State. Edo State, we have something on INEC. INEC deploys 5 additional RECs, 3 national commissioners, 13,000 staff. APC PDP clash over plots to clone by PVCs. APC PDP clash in Edo State over plot to clone by PVCs. Oba of Benin seeks protection for corps members. Oba of Benin seeks protection for corps members. On to the next one, which is the Daily Sun. The major headline, which reads, police arrest 18 protesters, 4 journalists in Lagos. That's as protest against fuel price electricity tariff hike expand. Police arrest 18 protesters, 4 journalists in Lagos State. That happened in Yaba axis of Lagos last yesterday. JAF, civil society groups mobilized for mass action. JAF civil society groups mobilized for mass action. Government will rebuild refineries, says Sylvia, that's our petroleum minister. Government will rebuild refineries, says Sylvia, petroleum minister. We still have something here on Edo State. Still same story we found on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Mayhem in Ondo as political talks allegedly kill ZLP stalwart, that's the Zenith Labour Party. Mayhem in Ondo as political talks allegedly kill ZLP stalwarts. Drama as security operatives bar lawmakers from assembly complex. On terrorism, Anambra residents demand investigation into influx of suspected bandits. Let's quickly join our reviewers for more views on these stories we have on the front pages of these journals. I'll be right back. A tragic development in Ondo State. Over 5,100 card readers burnt down in INEC office. Don't you think this was a plot?
Mr. Mark, to be quite honest with you, it will be speculative of me to say it was a plot. And it looks as if it's a coincidence if it is not a plot. But having said that, I think from the look of things, according to the information we got from Inec yesterday, that they will immediately commence investigation to unravel the cause of the inferno. But be that as it may, I think if this will affect the credibility of the election, I think the election is better shifted if it's allowed, if the time frame is still allowed by law. Because from what I understand, car reader that is meant for the election have been consumed by this inferno. Significant part of it. So if that will affect the election, because by our standard, the car reader gives our election some level of credibility. So any election you are conducting in Nigeria currently that you are not making use of car reader, it is evident that it will be compromised. I'm sorry to say, almost every government agency that is saddled with the responsibility of conducting election in Nigeria is ready and always available to compromise their responsibilities if there is no system in place to check their activities. No wonder I saw what former president Mr. Dr. Jonathan said, that for us to have a credible election we need to go by way of electronic voting. I totally agree with him. So what I'm saying in essence is, let us not preempt, let us not speculate. Like I said, anything I say now will be speculative. Let us give the authorities the benefit of doubt to investigate the immediate and remote cause of that fire and come up with a report. But having said that, like I said earlier on, if the inferno, if the fire, if the damage will cause the credibility of this election, I think the election will be better shifted a little bit to ensure that they put all the necessary things they need to put in place before they conduct the election.
Now, Matthew, there has been so much concentration on Edo politics. I think the security operatives, even the federal government, needs to shift attention to Ondo State. Of course, the ZLP, that is Zenith Labour Party stalwart, was killed. Your take on it?
It's unfortunate, but again, it is exposing the inefficiency of our system generally. Our democracy is evolving. There was an era where political killing, assassination was order of the day, but the thing is dying down. And if we start seeing things of that nature now, it is taking us back to where we started from, and it is unacceptable. My take on this is that the police particularly and DSS should be up to their responsibilities. They should ensure that they do enough intelligence gathering and nip such crime in the bud. Having said that, this one that has happened, how you check crime is by the time you investigate a crime, arrest the culprits, charge them to court, the court hand down the judgment on them, is serve as deterrent to others. So in view of this, I'm calling on the IG of police and the commissioner of police in that state, both the area commander of that jurisdiction, to swing into action and arrest every person that may be involved in the murder of that Labour Party, Zenith Labour Party stewards, and ensure that the person faces the wrath of the law, so as to act as deterrent to others.
Now, it should act as deterrent to others. We experienced this during the election in Kogi State, which we don't expect this to take place this time around. We have just two states now conducting an election this time around. Don't you think there should be more maximum security for people or for the electorates?
Mr. Mike, if you say maximum security, I agree with you. But I think what they need to do most is enough intelligence gathering. To be quite honest with you, this era we are, physical presence or security personnel doesn't make much difference. We are in the era of technology. Look at how Soleimani, a military diplomat that operated in the whole Middle East from Iran, was killed by American soldiers. There is surveillance drone from area surveillance drone, and they took the man off. What I'm saying is, what stops our government from deploying drones? These things, they are not rocket science. We have the resources. The other time, Israeli government brought down a American spy drone, claiming that the spy drone breached their airspace. I'm saying all this because we see it happen elsewhere. And these things, we have the resources to bring them here. Get drones. The other time, I watched in channel, one boy from Ogada in Delta State was doing an exhibition of drone he produced locally, and the thing could take area photograph. What stops our government from having an institution where if they see you have such talent, they bring you there to develop it? Our system do not encourage development, do not encourage people growing their talent.
Okay, Matthew, away from that, let's quickly move down to the hike in food prices. Of course, when there is fuel hike in the country, other activities, I won't call it get paralyzed. They get inflated. They get inflated. Now, don't you think the government should look inward and reverse their move on increases in commodities?
Mr. Man, to be quite honest with you, it will amuse you that even at the front of that paper you are holding, the government is saying rise in prices, threatens food security.
Yeah, it's a threat to food security.
You see, I think the government owns it a responsibility to rescind that decision. Because PMS, premium motor spirit, increase of it in our economy have multiplier effects. It is going to trickle down to every other strata of the economy. And you are going to see an astronomical increase in everything in this economy, all the goods and services in this economy. And this is not just this. The federal government have recently given the CBN directive to start giving forests to any importation of food items. So by implication, before you know it, price of flour will increase. Because it means importers go and source for their forests to import. They are no longer getting the forest at the government control price. By implication, the price of bread is going to increase. The price of egg is going to increase. Everything that leverage on raw material for importation for their finished product in Nigeria is going to increase. At the end of the day, you see the government looking for who to blame. That is area I do not like, where government do not accept responsibility. So hence they are taking this part, they should be ready and willing to accept responsibility of their failure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew. There's a development in Ondo State, which I call it a sad one. Of course, we've been experiencing sad development in Ondo State. But Ondo State is a typical issue now, where we have the ZLP stalwarts being killed. We still have the card readers, about 5,100 card readers burned.
Get burned. Well, it's not too far-fetched. The answer to those things, I mean, it's not too far-fetched. You can see that APC, their mechanism, their rigging mechanism has started working. I'm telling you, how many investigations, when a particular house is being burned, how many investigations have they carried out, and we see the results? And even if they see the results, what is the consequence of that result? What come after the outcome of it? What is it? So all those grammar we are going to investigate or interrogate is useless to me. To me, I see it as a way of rigging. And as I see it, I don't think it should affect the election. Why? Because those card readers, I don't think they are regionalized to the extent that maybe the one they use in Osun State cannot be used in Ondo State. If the case, if it is like that, that the one they use in Osun State can be used in Ondo State, why not carry it from Osun State and use it in Ondo State, since we don't do election in Osun State, or carry from Ekiti State, very near states, and do the election? And I think they still have about how many months, like 1 or 2 months now. Yeah. If there are serious elements, it's not, they have enough time to still rearrange everything. If they will not find the excuse not to conduct election in the way they like it and the way they want to do it. And that Senate Labour steward that was killed, let me tell you, I don't know who are the people, the two political parties that clash. I've not read that thing, but it will not be too far from APC and Z Labour, because that guy that came from APC now eventually is Zenith Labour, whatever. Agbola Ajayi is now there now, and the man is a strong man. Look at it. A member of House of Assembly in Ondo State was denied entrance into the House of Assembly. Go and check it. It will be the supporter of Agbola Ajayi. That man that was denied entrance into House of Assembly will be the supporter of Agbola Ajayi. So, if you look at it very well, the major PDP in Ondo State, I think they have shot themselves in the leg. That Itayo Jegede should have at least romance that Agbola Ajayi. Wọ́n ní sáwọ́ la fi gbàdá lọ́wọ́ wèrè to at least first instance win the governorship election. After you win it, now you will settle the case of Dama. I know that the man is an ambitious person. He's a very strong man. So you should have at least embrace him. You cannot have a deputy if you are not win governorship election. So it is when you win governorship election you will have a battle to have with your deputy. So when you reach the bridge, you should know how to cross it. That's my own take in Ondo State.
And I think there's preparation going on right now in Edo State as we have Inec deploying about 5 additional RECs.
That Edo State, I've been saying it, and my conclusion is that Edo people want to talk, but the noise in the town will not allow them. That is the noise of APC. It will not allow them to hear what they want to say. They want to say no godfatherism, but power above will not allow them to say it. They will keep them silent. I said it yesterday that, okay, why is it that Edo State is a PDP state, but it is APC governor that has been ruling them for almost 12 years now? Why is it like that? When we are doing general election, PDP always win. But when they are doing governorship election, APC win. Why? Because Edo State by that time will be a single state conducting election that time, and all the federal might around Nigeria will be concentrated in Edo, and they will win it at all costs. So that's what has been happening. And somebody come and say PDP have 3 senators, APC have 1. Why that one happened was because we are doing general election and nobody have time for all the states at a whole. You face your states, but this time around they want to do election in Edo alone in a day. I'm telling you, I pity Obaseki. I wish him well, but at the same time I pity him.
So it's a 50-50 chance.
It's a 50-50 chance. He have to walk like tomorrow, no day.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mike Adekule. That, to me, that's no news. It has always been that has always been the order of the day, whereby even the so-called police officers, are they not also politicians? Each and every one of them belong to what? A group of political parties. So I don't see ballot snatching, buying of PVC, election rigging as a new system in this country. It has always been that from the onset. Just like in 2019, I was the polling booth agent. I work for PDP, and the police officer connived with a PDP member in my polling booth just to rig election for Buhari. So that has always been the order of the day. Now, that is what has been done. It is always called what's it called, the highest bidder. If you have your money, you give it to the police officers, they will connive with them just to rig the election for you in their favor. So that has always been the order of the day, irrespective of what, of political A and party B. It has to do with what? The highest bidder. And can that be eliminated in Nigeria? It cannot be eliminated, because even those that want to, even those how to curb crime, even those how to curb the crime, are the one perpetrating this crime, are the one carrying out this crime. So see, how would you stop crime when a police officer that is supposed to curb his crime is the one partaking in his crime? So it shows a serious threat to our democracy and to our election at large. Okay, David, your take on the 5,100 card readers that got burnt in Ondo State. That's another saga. Mr. Mike Adekule,
That to me yesterday, I listened to the news yesterday. I felt so bad because how would you report that what according to the report yesterday, they said it was a mysterious fire. What do you understand by mysterious? It means God strange fire for me. And then again yesterday, see, and what really made me feel bad was that even the security men that were supposed to be on ground, they said they went to eat. Why would you go to eat on your duty post? This office got fire around 8:13. Our security officer left there 8, I think that was 8:10 past minutes. 10 minutes past 8.
Maybe
I said
maybe
four
hunger was so intense.
Four of them.
We're extremely hungry.
Why would 4 security officer at the same time leave their duty post? It shows there's something fishy under the ground. Then again, and this fire did not target some other offices. So this fire targeted only what ICT offices where you have the candidates. So that means there is a foul play. I don't know which party, whether party A or like party B. I don't know, because I know they might have bribed those so-called security officers, because these men also need money. Because what I'm talking about, a man that earns 10,000 naira and you give him close to like 1 million for him to perpetrate such evil, won't you give you, he will give you passway. Even if you give him 100,000 naira for you to carry out such atrocities, he will give you a go ahead. As of yesterday.
You mean if they don't even give him 1 million naira?
So it shows the kind of scenario, it shows the kind of society we find ourselves. Why would you come out? And then again yesterday, even when the fire service got there, they were supposed to come the fire. They were saying their own tools and their own equipment when they were working. Those ones stood there for like 2 hours helplessly. They could not quench the fire because those ones too they have been compromised. Just go there, don't quench the fire. That is what. Yeah, because even when they got there, they could not be able to like quench the fire. They said their own what's it called, equipment was not working. And then why did you leave the office in the first place if you know your own equipment? When you so it's just kind of what society we find ourselves.
Like David said, he said it seems there was a foul play in that inferno that took place in the Inec office in Ondo State. Do you support David's move?
Quite 100%. I support him. More than 100% I support him. There always been foul play in Nigeria in cases like this. Not only foul play, but cow play. This one is more than foul play. Foul is too small to play. Now it's cow play. Big play. Big joke. From the high authority. In the Inec office belong to federal government, not the state. Then how can this fire got born and the federal government keep silent up till now? You see, in every situation in this Nigeria, I blame the federal government of so-called Muhammad Buhari under the platform of APC. How can fire got there? Who kindled the fire? As my brother said, have Elijah returned back to Nigeria? Have fire come from heaven? Mysterious fire. From which shrine? From which devil? From which spiritual realm the fire came that is to be mysterious fire? Human being did it. Human being know about it. Human being planned it. To do what? To perpetrate some evil. They have planned to rig the election to one person, to one party. Election in Nigeria always be by appointment, not by election. But we the voters, we went there to waste our time. Whether you like it or not, in their realm, in their shrine, in their office, in their caucus, they have planned the person they will hand over, that will play as they want. And that's what I'm saying. So, and if you want this present government is full of fraud. They are crying foul. Where they are the hunter, they are the foul by themselves, hunting themselves. Look at what is going on. Is it the first time government office born in Nigeria? Look at during the time of lockdown on COVID-19, financial control department, get bond. Only that person will give the total account of what spent in Nigeria and that period of COVID-19. Do you hear any probe? Do you hear any persecution? Do anybody hold in charge? Do anybody jail? But there are some people that occupy that office. There are some people that manage that office. There was a security man there that very day. And this time around, security men walk out to where? You leave your duty post. If in a advanced country, how can you leave your duty post to go and eat? They need to be quarried. They need to be bring the book. But who will bring them? Is their father not corrupt? Is their father not aware of it?
Now, with this kind of scenario taking place in that state, what do you expect in October poll?
You did not expect anything. Then he that is qualified to win will not win.
In October, in Ondo State.
In Ondo State. Mostly PDP. PDP may not win. PDP may not win. But they are qualified to win. The vote will cast for them. People will cry for them. People will pray for them. People will campaign for them. But they will not win. If they win by vote casting, tribunal may rob it. If tribunal did not rob it, Court of Appeal will annul it. If Court of Appeal did not, the Supreme Court controlled by animals we finalize it.
Now, Mr. Kwara, now that buying of PVC, is going on in Edo State, don't you think this will undermine credible election in that state?
Will undermine or have already undermined? Not will undermine, it have already undermined. Buying voters cards, PVC in Edo State have already destroyed the election. Because if I give you 5,000 naira to vote for me, you will vote for me. And remember, APC will use the federal mines in Edo State. Money will be released from Abuja without accountability to APC because they are the ones that control it. So Obaseki, what I expect Obaseki to do or PDP to do is to do exactly what we can do in Rivers State.
Whoa! Now, how do we ensure there is free, fair, and credible election?
It can never, and it can never, unless if we are hallucinating, if we are drunk, if we are not with our senses. How do we think that there is going to be a credible election under Buhari regime? How do you, as a Nigerian, think that is right? It is impossible. It is impossible. Under Buhari regime, there will never ever be a credible, free and fair election. We know that Nigerian atmosphere this time around is soaked with corruption. It can't work out. It can't work out. It can never. The election is going to be the most dwindled, corrupt election ever. Look at the Inec Center office, gutted by fire just yesterday. Let me tell you, if I could be deputy governor to Akeredolu, I will have something to hold as a reason to fight APC. Because they are the one behind the fire gutting Inec office in Akure. I say, it's because PDP themselves, as an opposition party, is not doing enough. My brother, let me tell you, I begin to suspect PDP. I can't just keep on coming here exonerating PDP all the time. PDP is a crooked party as well. Let me tell you, Mike, let me tell you the truth. How do you expect an opposition party to be that dull, like ice block, as dull as ice, as dull as idiots? As far as I'm concerned, the most foolish party I've ever seen in my life is PDP. Ask me why. How?
What do you expect them to do?
Thank you so much. By now,
You expect them to be
Ndobisi Kano's park,
okay.
Alausa, is supposed to be jam-packed, overcrowded with human rights activists. By now, led by PDP, By now, Ojota Park is supposed to have been jam-packed with human rights activists, people protesting, fuel increase, palliatives. They could not dole out to Nigerians. PDP were just there crossing their hands, fingers, looking like Mugu. What were the APC doing in 2014-15 back? They were busy, you know, being sensitive to their own shortcomings. Anywhere PDP deviates, they clink on that and start hammering PDP to the extent that even Jonathan himself was over-insulted then. They abused him, they insulted him. Look at a whole CBN governor, insulting Jonathan. Look at a former Lagos State governor attacking Mr. President, telling him that if you fail us, if you don't do something about fuel subsidy, we are going to form a parallel government. It is a treasonable felony. I stand by that. From a civilian telling Chief Commander of Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria that they are going to form a parallel government. It's a treasonable felony. So let me tell you, PDP is as poor, as weak as carcass, like dead animals. They are nobody. And I begin to suspect Atiku. Atiku truly is a political prostitute. Achawo. The guy is just there after losing his mandate to Buhari illegally. He's not doing anything now. He's not been fighting. He's not been saying anything. He's just there enjoying his, I don't know, so-called money, where he made his money. I'm telling you, PDP is not living up to expectation. They are as porous as Gary Balola. Hey!
Thanks so much for joining us on today's edition of this program. We really appreciate you for always keeping in touch with us on Flip TV. Make sure you join us next time on the same platform. Michael Adekunle still remains my name. The man behind the camera there, Festus Oduabukome. You can join us on our social media handles displayed on the screen. You can also join me on Facebook, Mike.Temitayo Adekunle, on Instagram, Adekunle Mike Temitayo. Viewers, have a good weekend. Bye.